So here we go. On to part 7. This is taking forever, but I love it. And we're getting into the really nice figures now. Here we have Lobo, number 42 in the set. He is a rare, and he's 169. So he's kind of expensive. Let's look at some other things. He's a grounded character. He has 2 range, not too far. He has Indomitable, so it's pretty much permanent willpower. He has a trait. At the beginning of your turn, as a free action, you may heal Lobo of 1 damage. This is really awesome. If you are familiar with the new Wolverines, they have a power similar to this. So, and it works really good with him. And the reason why I think it's probably going to work even better for Lobo is because Lobo has a little bit better defense stats, and he has way more damage reducers. So this will help him quite a bit. And Lobo has the Indomitable, so you don't even have to push him. Like, you can push and you're still not going to take a click. A lot of people with Wolverine would push knowing that next turn they'll just heal that click back. This guy is just going to be all out attacking, and for the points, I mean, those Wolverines are about 100 points and roughly between the both of them. And this guy's, 69 points more, but I think you're going to find a lot more uses with him. He's got higher attack powers and damage output. I mean, just going over this dial is just crazy. He's got 2 special powers, 1 for attack and 1 for damage. For the attack, he can use Flurry. Before the second attack, roll a d6. His damage value becomes the result -1, and it is locked. This is for the dog's attack, and I like this quite a bit because you have Flurry, and on the second attack, you have the potential to do up to 5 damage with the dog, when you would only really get to do 3 if it was just normal Flurry. So that's pretty good. Yes, if you roll a 3, you -1 it to 2, so you're losing out. But still, I mean, for the majority, it's really good. And then for your damage, give Lobo a power action. Choose an opposing character within 5 squares and line of sight. Roll a d6. If the d6 result is higher than the numbers of squares that the character is away, you may place that character in adjacent square to Lobo, and then you can make a close combat attack as a right after that. So that is really good as well. That makes his 2 range kind of 5, because if you could see him, just give him a token, pull him next to you. You have to roll the d6, but hopefully you get that result, and then you make your attack right there. And so that's pretty good. I want to go over some of the powers he has. Charge, that's always going to be very beneficial to get into an attack. Really good defense reducers here. The dial starts off with high defenses and ends with relatively lower defenses with a 15, but 18 is really good. 17 is pretty good too. I like that. 16, you're kind of getting in that range depending on where your opponent's attack is. But overall, this is a really good figure. For the points, I like it quite a bit. It's going to be really hard to kill, and I can't wait to get him. So here we have Doomsday. He is 43 in the set, and he is 189 points. He is a grounded character as well. He has 0 range, he has Indomitable, and he has a trait. The trait is Doomsday uses Battle Fury and can't be placed by TK. Alright, so there's some limitations, but the Battle Fury isn't going to be a problem because he has 0 range anyway, so that's pretty good. And you get the bonuses with the Battle Fury. And TK, understandable there. He's Doomsday. And he has a special move power. Doomsday can use Charge. When using Charge, he ignores other characters and terrain for movement purposes except walls and indoor blocking terrain. Alright, so this is really good. This is just like crazy Charge here. He starts only off at 8, but then goes to a 10, then 9s. So that's pretty good. I'm looking at the dial here, and you can see right off the bat he starts off with high defenses but low attacks. Similar to the original Doomsday out of the Justice League set. He had like a really good defense, and impervious as well, but he only had a 9 attack. It is what it is, but at the end you can see he loses the high defense but gets a really high attack with a 12. But then, you know, I like this guy because you can charge in. You can probably, you're going to quake because you have only a 2 damage. Depends on if you're going to want to attack again on the same character or if it's a group of characters. You might just want to charge in, do the 9 attack, next turn since you have Indomitable, use Close Combat Expert, and then just smoke them out of there. So you can see the first 3 clicks are very similar. You know, you got your 9s and 18 defense with Impervious. So, you know, you might be stuck on those clicks with just the low attacks, but, you know, that's good. I mean, if you can pull that off, it's going to be really good. I mean, it's a low attack for a 189 point figure. But once you get past that, you have invulnerability the rest of your dials, so that's really good, and your attack continually gets better with 10s, 11s, and then 12. Exploit weakness pops up around this time, and then as you can see there, I mean, he's going to be more close combat, and you're just going to want to kill the characters right now because your defense continually goes lower, but your attacks get better, and your damage output goes better too. So he just kind of gradually goes crazier with better attacks and damage, but he loses defense in the process. His special damage power: if an opponent controls only 1 character, you may give Doomsday a power action, place Doomsday next to that character, and make a close combat action as a free action. This is nasty because you just give him a token, go next to the guy, and you're gonna probably destroy him with your high attack and high damage. This only comes into effect if your opponent has only 1 figure, but I like it a lot. This figure is very interesting, I will have to say. I like it for the points. It's very interesting because just the way he works, you know. Highs to lows, min-max figure, but pretty cool. I'm looking forward to him to be in my collection. I think it's going to be a fun figure, and it's going to be hard to kill, for sure. And he will take out a lot of figures in the process if he does go down. So here we have Ursa, number 44 in the set. Also a rare, 150 points, Superman enemy, and she is a flyer. 8 range, which is pretty good, and she has a trait: ignores hindering terrain for line of fire purposes when making attacks. Okay, so that's pretty good, kind of like a stealth buster figure there. We have a special for movement. She can use run and shot and stealth. Okay, this is nasty. It makes me want to think of Miss Marvel, but that figure had super strength and it had hypersonic, but you know, with the run and shot stealth, I like that combo, and with the large range of 8, that's pretty good. But she does get hypersonic later on, so don't count her out there. She also has a power for an attack later on. If she occupies hindering terrain, modify her attack by +1. Well, she gets it at one time where she has stealth, so she can use that quite a bit. But most range figures want to be in stealth anyways to help their defense up. Her defense stats are actually pretty solid. 17's pretty good, then goes down to 16, but I mean, they're relatively, you know, very straightforward. You know what you're going to get there, and her defense reducers with invulnerability and toughness are going to help her stay in the match. Along with, on her top dial, she has Psychic Blast, which is going to cut through any damage reducers, and with that 8 range, I like it quite a bit. She's going to be a stealthy figure, shooting from range, and psychic. I mean, this is going to be nasty. I like this figure a lot. And then if you do get her off of those stealth clicks, she's got, like, you know, low movement for hypersonic, you know, 8s and 9s. You know, with hypersonic, you want to be able to get in there and then get out of there. With these kind of stats, you might not be able to fully get out away. But with your range, you might be able to, because that's a good range. But yeah, I like this figure quite a bit. The sculpt is pretty generic, but the fire looks pretty cool. I like it. So here we have Queen of Fables, a figure that I do not know anything about, but we're going to still review it. She is number 49 in the set, and she is a super rare. And she is a grounded character, and this one is a giant figure, so that's interesting. She has 7 range. She has a trait that I'll go over in a few minutes. She is 164 points, so she's up there a little bit, and she's Mystic character, so that is going to be really the key point for this figure, Mystic. Anytime you do damage to this figure, she will be doing damage back to you, and you can't reduce it, so that's really good. Her trait, when the Queen of Fables is hit by a character's attack using a standard object, deal her 1 unavoidable damage after their result. So this actually hurts her. So if you use a standard object on her, she takes another click of damage. So that is a sad face for this figure. But with the Mystics, you know, they might you know, for some reason do that, and you know, there might be some storyline where the object you know, plays a role. But let's talk about her dial. She has mind control, and her attacks are pretty good. Her special attack power, Queen of Fables can use Perplex and Probability. That's really nice. And she has 18 invulnerability and 4 damage with Shape Change. So this figure is going to be very hard to hit. And when you do decide to hit her, you're going to take damage back. She can use her Perplex and Probability to try to make it harder for you to get her. Perplex up her defense up to a 19. And then if you do hit her, she can prob it again, you know. And then the Shape Change, I like it quite a bit here. The range is mediocre, though. I mean, for a figure like this, I don't know. I mean, 6 range is probably average, so I guess it's a little bit better. But 7 is just odd for me. I mean, 7's not bad, actually. But you see that for the first 3 clicks, you kind of got similar, you know, powers there. But then it switches up to Plasticity, where she's going to hold people around her. And then she has Psychic Blast, where that range will come into effect. She still has Shape Change, which is an awesome power. They have another random invulnerability click right there in the middle of the dial. And then, and to get past those, she has a move special power. Queen of Fables can use Willpower, so this is good. When she attacks an opposing character, she may replace her attack and damage values with the printed attack and damage values of her target. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Her defense is, you know, 16's not the greatest, especially at the end of your dial. You know, you want to try to survive here. You have a pretty good attack, 10 and then 9, you know, it's respectable. But you can use Willpower and replace her attack and damage with an opposing, character. So that could be potential devastating for your opponent, because you can, you know, if there's 11 and a 4 damage, you're like, okay, I'll take that, and then you get +1 to that, so you have a 12 and 5. Now that is nasty. I like that, and then you can do it again with Willpower. So, and then at the end, she has regeneration, so she can kind of heal back those clicks with toughness and invulnerability. Her whole dial. And then, you know, the Mystics. I like this figure. If I pull her, I'll probably keep her because she looks like she might be fun to play. But I don't know much about her, so not someone that I really need to have, but it's pretty cool. And she's probably going to be pretty nasty to play against. You're not going to want to... You're going to look at her and be like, that's going to be not fun to play against.